Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
And it feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light, when you hit that first joint, in the morning, and you.
I actually feel a lot more awake.
So is there a part that you want to get to know or work with today, or something that's going on?
Yes. Well, I'll just tell you a little bit about where I am today. I'm in a really great mood because just right before the call, I solved a problem in my business that I've been working on for probably 5 years. So yeah, I solved a problem I've been working on for 5 years. And it's kind of a tech problem. My business, I work from home and I manage other people, and I manage a lot of other people. And kind of the whole idea is, the more efficiently I can manage, which is usually through tech solutions, then the better everything goes. So,
Yeah.
So I really spend kind of all my time besides doing IFS, I'm just always researching apps and managing practices, working with people. But a lot of apps and if I could just make this thing easier for this person, then it wouldn't be a problem anymore. And, we wouldn't have to spend so much time on it. So, and lately I've been having all kinds of great insights. I think I'll thank IFS for that. Just being in a better place where I don't know. I feel like I'm having better ideas lately. But yeah, so I solved a problem I've been working on forever. And the part I want to work with was the moment I solve the problem, I look at it and I say, why couldn't I figure this out, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
The tech has been there, and I'm reinventing the wheel. And I really need to figure that out. What stops me from getting the solutions sooner, which I know would just require basically asking the right people the right time, or going to the right forums and asking the right questions, because they're information problems. It's like I don't have the solution, and if I just use the internet and ask the right people, I would get the solution. But instead, I'll try to go it on my own and spend all my time on it. So I'd like to get to know that part of me that stops me from just spending more time asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Can you tell me where in your body or around your body you feel the part?
Okay. Trying to put myself in that place. Like what I feel when I do go to ask. Yeah, I just get really frustrated. Yeah, it kind of feels like defeat or frustration, and then to even ask questions and find the right places to ask can often involve a lot of jumping through various hoops, signing up for places. I know that you asked where it is in the body. I'm getting there. I just have to kind of mentally put myself there.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe my chest area,
Okay.
kind of pulsing, or definitely has some like fear and some just anxiety around it, or
Okay.
frustration, knowing that something's going to be frustrating, and just doing it all by myself doesn't have that fear and frustration. It's kind of like feels better, even though I'll regret spending all the time.
Yeah. I really relate to that. I don't know.
I kind of wonder if it's a universal problem. Like the internet exists, so like all the information's out there for anybody who knows how to find it,
Yeah.
So yeah, what stops anyone from finding it? But anyway.
Yeah. I think it can be scary. So that part that doesn't want to ask or research, that just wants to do it itself, that you're finding in your chest, and you're feeling like maybe it's pulsing and some fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you're sensing, or any thoughts that come to mind?
Yeah, just the kind of the backlash to that is like when I am like scolding myself for, I call it like having my head up my own ass. It's just kind of like, why didn't I find this sooner? So
Yeah.
it's kind of those two parts, I think, in conflict.
So it seems like there are two parts. There's the scolding part, and there's the part that's doesn't want to ask, and then there's the part that scolds.
Yes.
For not wanting to ask.
Yes.
Okay. Is there one in particular you want to work with today?
Yeah, the one that doesn't want to ask.
Okay. So can you try asking the scolding part if it would be able to take a step back so that you can get to know the other part?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what does this part want you to know?
You skipped an
Or try
important
asking
question.
the part what it wants you to know.
I think you skipped an important question.
How do you feel towards it?
Yes, I only bring that up because in all my research of IFS, they're like, this is the most important question. Never, always do this one. And I've skipped it plenty of times too, but.
Yeah. I guess I thought you answered it because you said that you were scolding yourself. So
Right.
are there any other feelings that are coming up? Are there any other parts that are objecting?
No, I don't think so. The part itself doesn't feel like it wants to be known too well.
Okay. Yeah. How close are you to the part?
How I feel towards it is I do have compassion for it.
You do have compassion.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. And can you tell how close you are to the part?
No, I can't really tell how close I am to it. I don't really see it,
Okay.
but I think I'm able to contact it somehow.
Okay. Okay. Is it aware of your presence?
Yes.
Okay. And try asking it what it wants you to know.
Okay. It says that that it has a judgment. It says it's all fucked. Just the internet and other people's opinions. It just has this kind of like distrust and around it.
And does that make sense to you?
Yeah, a lot of sense.
Okay. And does it want to share anything else with you?
I don't know that it wants to share anything else, but I can definitely see that that's kind of the outward that's its first response, and there's definitely some vulnerability there.
Okay. And does it feel like you get it?
It feels like I get the it's all fucked part.
Okay, good. Try asking the part what it's afraid of, if it'll stop doing its job of keeping you from that.
Mm-hmm. It's afraid of wasting time, and like doesn't get. There's no reward. If you work on something on your own, even if it's at a snail's pace, you can see that you're being rewarded along the way. But if you like ask a bunch of questions and don't get valuable answers, that's just a waste of time. A lot of times, especially like online, you go online and go on a forum and ask a question and get one bad answer, and then it's like, okay, it's not very fun. So it's afraid of wasting time. It's definitely, again, more of the deeper fear.
There's a deeper fear, is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to ask it about that. Maybe I'll just ask, what's the deeper fear?
Yeah, what's the deeper fear, or what's the worst thing that could happen?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there's a little bit of shame and resentment. So when I do ask a question and get advice and then go that direction and then later find out it was not great advice, there's a lot of resentment around that, of like, and shame of like, oh, I can't believe I was so dumb. I trusted that person, So that's pretty painful sometimes.
Yeah.
And it can even then can even jeopardize relationships where it's like, I want, if I'm asking a friend, I'm asking someone close to me something, and either they don't put care into it, or they just rattle off an answer, then it's like, that's really painful. Like, oh, you don't care about the thing what's in my best interest. It just kind of has that, like, I don't want to know that someone doesn't care feeling.
Yeah. Is that what it feels like when you get bad information or are led the wrong way?
Yeah.
To the part?
Yeah, and it kind of like it kind of doesn't make sense with strangers on the internet, but I can see how that definitely makes sense with people in real life. Definitely have had a lot of history of like just getting led in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And then again, it's not just the problem, but then it's like, oh, what does that say about our relationship? You know. And then,
So if it feels right, try.
well,
Oh, go ahead.
I want to keep asking it about the fear.
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, well, what's behind that? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to know all about it.
Yeah.
Whatever it's willing to share.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think there's like, again, kind of shame or grief around like, well, I don't have the right people around me, you know? So like, just grief about not having a good community. And, you know, if I was a different person or a better person or, you know, whatever, then I would, you know, I would have a network and I would only get good advice, you know? So it definitely has some grief around that and just,
right. Yeah.
I'll use the word shame, but of like, yeah, it's kind of my fault feeling.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
And how are you being with the part now?
Closer and yeah, I feel like I can kind of appreciate that more and kind of cry with it a little in a good way.
And kind of what?
I said kind of cry with it a little in a good way.
Okay. Yeah.
What's next?
Well, if it feels right, and you may have already done this, try showing appreciation, if you feel it, towards the part for trying to protect you for all this time.
Yeah. We got that going on.
How are you feeling towards... What's that?
I said we have that going on, and the way I'm feeling towards it is more and more curious. I am kind of seeing that, like, just sad part that feels, it just feels like a young exile part, and then that part, whatever part it is, if it's the same part or whatever, that kind of keeps me from wanting to go there. That's a tight little system, and I can see
wanting to go where?
Wanting to go to asking questions that kind of reveal that, like, loneliness or grief. So I can appreciate whether that's one part or two or whatever. I can appreciate it, how it works.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you now, how do you feel about trying to talk to that potential exile?
Fine. I'm up for it.
Yeah, okay. And does this feel like a separate part that maybe was being protected?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Can't tell. Okay, that's all right. And I know I just asked you how you felt towards the part, but since we have a little bit of a, we're going in a slightly different direction, I'm just wondering if you still feel the same.
Yeah. Compassionate and curious. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And try asking this part what else it wants you to know. What does it want to show you?
Yeah, just loneliness, and just lonely that it doesn't have community.
Yeah, I get that. Does the part think you get it?
Yes, but there's kind of a yes, but it's like I get it when I slow down and think about it, but I'm pretty busy, not actively not thinking about that, and like trying to solve the problem on my own, kind of thing. That's how I spend my time. Although it is it is a project of mine, of like, okay, well, let's build community. let's find community, let's move, let's do stuff to remedy that.
Yeah.
But again, it's not a super high, it's not a project that I prioritize a whole lot in some regards. And yeah, it's like, because of that grief too, it's like not something I like thinking about. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Try, if it feels right, asking the part, what do I need to know to understand what this was like for you?
okay. It's showing me lots of memories from childhood. And it knows that I know them really well because I'm doing check-ins every day, and so what it's showing me is kind of more of stuff that I was working on something kind of overlapping this just this morning, so it does feel like I understand a lot about its situation.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you again. Should we go back into should we do the go back in time thing now? Or is there more? Do you think there's more to be revealed by the part?
I don't know. I don't think there's more that it wants to reveal, or that it feels that I need to know. And I also don't. I don't know. I don't know if going back in time is the right. I don't know that feels right. Because it's kind of like a lifelong problem, that I've had.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel. And when I think about this part and I try to see this part, I'm not seeing a specific age or anything. It's kind of just a forever longing for better relationships.
Yeah. So would it feel right then to go to the unburdening? Or you tell me what, if you have an idea, what
Okay.
you think would be most helpful.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to try that.
Okay. So ask the part if it's ready to release the pain.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Great. So have him check in his body or its body. for thoughts, feelings, sensations that he wants to let go of. And then he can do it in any way. You can give it to one of the elements, or if there's another way, how does he want to release the pain? What does he want to give it to?
Yeah, so it feels like, again, it's kind of this feeling in the chest, and it has it wants to give it up to the air. I don't know what exactly that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I can just ask it and let it lead a little bit.
Okay. Whatever it decides to do, let him do it until it's all gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a scream, and it's good.
Okay. It's all out.
Yeah.
Okay. How's the part feeling now?
Really good. It feels
Wow.
it feels it feels kind of grown up, and kind of like instead of crying, it's more like a roar. It's more of a like a forward kind of aggressive in a good way stance of like, okay, yeah, that is a problem, and it sucks, and like we can tackle that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you again, do you feel like you need to bring the part into the present, into a safe space, or do you also feel like that's not really helpful right now?
I'll ask it.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't feel stuck in time. It's telling me it just wants me to be more aggressive about it, be more proactive about working on that.
Okay. So should we continue talking to this part and asking what, I know you mentioned before you like to get into specifics about what it wants from you. We can continue talking to the exile, or we can bring in the protector.
So I'm going to take a note. So I'll take a note, and it's kind of like I'll revisit with this part and do brainstorming with it, and I can, I'll do that during one of my check-ins. Now that I have this more like visual about what it wants, then I'll do that another time.
Okay, great.
Because yeah, a lot of my check-ins are like that, where I'll find the part, I listen to what it wants, and then it's like, okay, let's just dream about that for 20 minutes. Let's just write everything we can write or draw or kind of, and then I try to turn it into an action item eventually.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were saying about
that sounds great.
About something else?
Do you want to bring back in the protector that we first started working with?
Yeah, what protector was that? Oh yeah, scolding.
Yeah, we had the scolding part, and the scolding part, feeling defeated and frustrated. Well, that could also be the excellent. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at my notes.
Yeah, it's the scolding part.
Scolding part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And show him what you've done, and ask, is there a new role that the scolding part would like to take on?
Yeah, if he's allowed to. That's what he said.
What's that?
He said, yeah, if he's allowed to. He was preparing to be scolded himself.
Oh, okay.
But he likes that we're I'll use the word brainstorming, but we're inviting him to join the team.
Nice.
So yeah, what would he like to be doing? Okay, well, I got an answer from him.
Great.
And it's it's funny how predictable sometimes this shift is, where it's like, yeah, he'd rather be scolding other people. He'd rather be scolding, whoever is anti-community, whoever, which I know we're not going to find that person, but that's where, if there's any,
but directed outward.
Yeah.
And is there anything that he needs from you?
Yeah, he needs me to. Oh, this is gonna sound bad. He needs me to find him an enemy. I mean, there's a lot of my parts that like to fight, and it's like I'm in this place in my life where I'm not doing a lot of that, kind of pushed all of that out. I said, no, none of that. That's all bad. So I need to kind of find a way to re-invite those parts to to work for good.
Yeah. Well, how are you feeling?
Really
right
good.
now?
Really good, and really
Okay, good.
I just love it, you know. Pretty much every time
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
every time I go inside, at least for me, whether it's on my own or even better with someone else, it's like I'm always surprised. I always have, my expectations are not low, but they're just whatever, and
Yeah.
it's always better than I expect, or deeper, or I'm always like, well, I guess we could talk to this part. Probably won't learn much. It's it's like kind of.
Yeah, totally. Well, is there anything else you want to say, or anything else the parts want to say, or a way you want to close?
By thanking you a lot.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome. You did great.
I'm glad I can do. Oh, thank you. It felt better. Felt good. I definitely can feel like wanting to jump in more, but also like, no, I mean, trying to listen to like my intuition and saying, okay, you don't have to jump in and lead. Like,
Yeah.
He's figuring things out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's what's so
I can
great.
see it being
It's so great, working with anybody who's done even some of this. It's like such a relief to know that when they're in it, when they're in the self energy, and especially if they understand the process. I'm just finding that too more and more with the people I'm working with.
yeah.
It's good.
Well, great job on your end.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a lot to
All right, I'll talk to you
about.
on Wednesday.
Yeah. I got my notes here. I'll put them where they go, which is over where I do my check-ins, and then I'll see them in the morning, and I'll kind of pick up and revisit these parts.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Talk to you
All right,
Wednesday.
talk soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Zikri, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.